Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing good. In this session, we are going to discuss 5G architecture. So the main agenda of this session is we'll have a brief about 5G standalone architecture plus 5G core. In this, we're going to discuss 5G standalone architecture. So if you're aware of 4G LTE, you can correlate this architecture with the 4G and you can compare few of its network function with the previous network components like HSS. Now that is replaced with AUSF and UDM. MME is replaced by AMF and SMF, and these are the network functions. So UPS is the replacement of SGW PGW user plane, and SMF is also the replacement of SGW and PGW control plane. So here you have AF, and PCF is the replacement of PCRF, policy control and rule function. We have NSSF, NEF, NRF. These are the new network functions in new 5G. So when we talk about the 5G standalone architecture, this refers to a 5G setup where the entire core network is entirely based on the 5G standards and protocols. And there is no reliance on 4G LTE infrastructure for any network operations, unlike the non-standalone architecture which combines 5G NR with the existing 4G LTE infrastructure. So if you don't know the difference between standalone and non-standalone architecture, I have given a difference between standalone and non-standalone in the previous lecture. You can go through that video and you can come back here later for the better understanding. So here you can see 5G NR, this 5G NR. This is the new air interface for 5G, replacing the LTE used in 4G networks. So in standalone architecture, 5G NR directly connects to its core network. So heart 5G core, if I talk about the 5G core, this is the heart of standalone 5G architecture. So some of the key components I will like to tell you in this session, that is AMF, SMF, then user plane function, this user plane function, then we have network slice selection function, unified data management, application function. So all these are some of the key components. We also have network exposure function, network repository function, session management, authentication server function, data network. So earlier data network was PDN, packet data network, because that was specifically for packet data. But here we also have the structured data because IoT came into picture. We are having machine to machine communication, we have IoT devices, we have many more such things. Here we are not only talking about packet data but also structured data. That is why we have data network in the consideration, not just PDN, not just packet data. Okay, so let me tell you what access and mobility management function is. So it is managing the access and mobility of a user. SMF, session management function, from the name itself you can understand that it sets up and manages network functions, right? And when we talk about user plane function, this is responsible for data packet routing and forwarding. We have network slice selection function. This determines and selects network slices. We have unified data management. This handles user data and authentication details. We have application function. This engages with application services, including third party application. We have AUSF. So 5G AUSF receives authentication request from the access and mobility management function and interacts with the unified data management to obtain authentication vectors for processing of 5G, aka authentication, and validates network responses to determine whether or not the authentication was successful. Now we have PCF, Policy Control Function. So this function supports the unified policy framework that governs network behavior. In so doing, it provides policy rules to control plain functions to enforce them. And now we have network repository function. Here, network repository function, or NRF, this NRF is a key element of the 5G core. It essentially acts as an index that can be consulted by other network functions. So it contains the information of all the other network functions. So they can discover information regarding the other, each other, like AMF wants to know about SMF, so it will go and ask the network repository function about SMF. So it will have all the information about SMF, and if SMF wants anything related to AMF, it will approach NRF itself, that is network repository function. So it has all the functionalities of other network functions stored in it, so they can discover information regarding other network functions present in the core, as well as service capabilities that may be required. We also have the concept of network slicing. So in standalone 5G, network slicing is a central feature. It allows operators to segment the network into multiple virtual networks, that is slices tailored for a specific use cases or services, ensuring optimal resource allocation and performance for each slice. Then we have the service based architecture. 5G core uses 5G core uses the service based approach, meaning that individual network functions are modular and interact through the standardized application programming interfaces, that is APIs, and end-to-end security. We also call it as E2E security. Enhanced security measures have been implemented in standalone 5G to ensure the protection of user data and privacy, including advanced encryption and authentication techniques. We have edge computing. Also, it supports edge computing where the processing capabilities are brought very closer to the user or the device. This reduces the latency and is essential for applications needing real-time processing. We have URLLC, that is ultra reliable low latency communication. So in standalone 5G, that is designed to support applications requiring extremely low latency and high reliability, like autonomous vehicles and certain industrial IoT applications. Then we have device and application diversity. So standalone 5G is built to cater a wide range of devices, from smartphones to IoT sensors, and a diverse set of applications, from high definition video streaming to mission critical machine communications. The standalone 5G architecture represents a complete departure from 4G infrastructures and offers a network designed from ground up to realize the full potential of 5G in terms of speed, latency, connectivity, and versatility. Now we will discuss about 5G core. This is a 5G core architecture. We saw this in the previous architecture also, that is standalone architecture. So 5G core architecture is just part of a, as I said, that is the heart of the standalone architecture. So 5G core architecture is completely based on service based architecture via application programming interfaces. Each network function offers one or more services to other network functions. Each network function is formed by a combination of small pieces of software code called as microservices. Few microservices can be reused by network functions for different network functions. Using microservices again for different network functions makes implementation more effective and facilitates independent lifecycle management. This allows easy upgrades and new functionalities to be deployed with zero impact on running services. Certainly, the 5G core network is the central part of the 5G system and plays a crucial role in managing mobile voice and data connections. Compared to its predecessors like 4G, 3G, 2G, 1G, the 5G core network is designed to be more modular, scalable, and flexible, making use of cloud native design principles and enabling key 5G features such as network slicing and edge computing. So, here's a brief overview of the main components and concepts of the 5G core network. So, we have service based architecture, we discussed about that. Unlike previous generations, 5G adopts a service-based architecture where core network functions exposes their services via application programming interfaces. So this allows more flexibility and interoperability. Now we have the key network functions, what we discussed, that access mobility management function, session management function, unified data management, network slicing, and all these everything. So uh, we will discuss this extra new components or the network functions NWDAF, 5G EIR, then we have CHF, GMLC, LMF. So we'll be discussing this plus all the other network functions in detail in upcoming sessions. So this is a network data analytics function. This is designed to streamline the way core network data that is produced and consumed, as well as to generate insights and take actions to enhance end user experience. This is 5G EIR. This is Equipment Identity Register. So 5G N5G, this N5G EIR, this is the interface you can see. Mm, so N5G EIR, Equipment Identity Register, this is based on the service based interface exhibited by 5G EIR. So which is an optional network function that supports the checking of the status of equipment's identity, like for example to check that it has not been blacklisted. We have GMLC, so a single public land mobile network. We have PLMN can have multiple GMLCs. So this functionality is integrated through SIGTRAN for 2G or 3G and through diameter for 4G and GMLC 5G networks. So GMLC can be integrated with LBS to locate any user that is connected to the network at a given time. So GMLC is used for active mobile positioning, meaning that it triggers specific activities on the network to retrieve a subscriber's location in real time. For improved positioning precision, a GMLC can connect with additional precise location components in the network. We have location management function. So a network entity or the network function, this is defined in 5G core network to provide positioning functionality by means to determine a geographic position of a mobile device based on downlink and uplink location, measuring radio signals. We have the charging function that collects all network and service usage data. So 5G charging function enables payments, understands how much a user should be charged for services consumed, and allows CSPs to create new services and offers and roll these out quickly and efficiently to consumers. So again we have the role of PCF that provides policy rules for control plane functions. That will also include network slicing, roaming, and mobility management, access and subscription, information for policy decisions taken by UDR. Un- so this UDR is Unified Data Repository. The Unified Data Repository, or 5G UDR, is a centralized database that stores 5G subscription information, which is used by other network functions in the following categories, like subscription for profile, policy data, application data, etc. And also you can see some of the interfaces names: NSSF, NWDAF, capital N followed by NEF. So if you closely relate with its network functions, you can see the capital N is just followed by its network function name, PCF. This is not so uh, complicated network interfaces. This is simply a capital N followed by the network function name, capital N followed by the network function name, GMLC, NLMF, NAF, NCHF, NUDM, NPCF. So all these interfaces named by its capital N followed by its network function name. So why are these named like this? Because it has the common, it they uses the common protocol, that is HTTP2 protocol. So they all network entities or no, network functions are using the common network protocols. Earlier everything had its own protocol, like mme to mme there was different protocol, enode b to mme different protocol, then we had hss to uh, other network entity a different protocol, diameter, then so many other protocols we had. But here we only need to know http2 protocol. That's why it has a common interface. So here all these network function supports http2 protocol, but here where we have UE, RAN, UPF, and data network, here HTTP2 protocol is not supported. So the interfaces which we used in the legacy network, that is repeated or that is continued to be used in this core architecture or the network architecture. Thank you all for watching this session, having knowledge, and if you understood this well, if you found this video useful, do not forget to share it with your friends. And if you support me, I'll be motivated to upload more and more videos for you. So if you have any doubts, you can put it in the comment section. I can help you out with that. And if you want 4G sessions out to be soon, then you can request that in the comment section. Thank you all. Bye.